My name's Chris Singer, and I'm the founder and executive director of Baraboo River Equine Assisted Therapies, and we call ourselves Breathe for short. We incorporated in 2016, and we spent most of that year in training and getting all of our horses and gear set up, and we spent about 10 months doing that. We gave our first lessons in June of 2017, so we're just about 6 years old now. Our mission is to provide equine-assisted therapies and horsemanship activities for individuals with special needs and disabilities. Currently we have 42 students that come every week, and they come to us from 6 different counties, primarily from Sauk County, but we also draw from all of our surrounding counties as well. And the ages range from about 4 years old up to adult. Our riders have many different challenges. About 80% of our riders are on the autism spectrum. We have riders with spina bifida and cerebral palsy and various genetic disorders. For these kids, you're not going to see them participating in recreational activities such as baseball and soccer. Instead of being taken to practice after school, they're heading to therapy after school. So this is a different type of outlet for them. They get to ride a horse, they get to learn how to control a 1,200-pound animal, which is very empowering and confidence building. So it's great for their self-esteem. At the same time, it's a healthy outdoor activity with live animals. It builds confidence. It increases core strength, fine muscle coordination. It actually helps with speech patterns and language patterns and learning problem-solving skills, because we do play games on horseback where they are challenged to solve certain types of puzzles and activities. So it's a pretty far-reaching type of recreational activity that is therapeutic as well. Actually, my husband and I moved here from California in 2014. We had horses out there and we ran a small lesson ranch, and we were interested in therapeutic riding at that time. In Southern California, there is a therapeutic riding center just about every 10 miles. So we did volunteer at a couple of those while we were there. When we arrived here, there was not a therapeutic riding center within 50 miles of Baraboo. So I started looking into how we might be able to bring one in, and with the help of UW-Madison, we were able to get our incorporation as a nonprofit in 2016, and I went through the training. We are a PATH certified center, so all of our instructors are certified by the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, and that's a pretty rigorous certification process that they have to go through. They learn not only about lessons and lesson planning, but various disabilities and how to interact with people with those disabilities, as well as it's a very comprehensive horsemanship program as well. So I became certified in 2016, and we gave our first lessons in 2017. We have about 45 volunteers that come out every week to help with lessons. They range in age from 12 years old up to 70 was the oldest of one of our volunteers, and they help groom the horses, they help take care of the horses when we're not in lessons, but their primary role is to help with lessons. They lead the horses and they walk beside the riders during the lessons if it's needed, so that those riders feel safe and confident. It takes a special type of person to be able to interact with the kids and with the horses. Not all of our volunteers have had horse experience before, and that's totally fine. We train them, and a lot of them have gone on to learn to take lessons themselves and become very good horsemen themselves. You can contact me through our website. It's www.barabooRiverEquineAssistedTherapies.org, or you can call my number, 608-504-2299.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Kunal. I'm a mother of one of the riders here at Breathe, Luke Kunal. He started when he was 5, and he is now 10 years old and still riding with Breathe. Yes, he's on the autistic spectrum. He has kind of slow processing time, a lot of stemming. just is going through a little bit of like hormonal change and needs that therapy to get him through the day. Within the first year, he definitely came off calmer, more confident. It's almost like he went to a therapy session without going to a therapy session. When Luke first started, he had 3 volunteers on each leading the horse for him, and now he's able to completely ride alone and trot, and his brothers are pretty impressed with him when they come to watch him at every lesson. I definitely have noticed a difference. He comes out and it's just, our day goes much smoother when he rides.
Hi, my name is Lori and I'm one of the volunteers at Breathe. This is my 2nd year, and I think what motivated me to come was I really like horses, but I didn't want the responsibility of or the knowledge of taking care of a horse on my own. And Chris and Ed, the owners, just are fabulous with not pressuring you to do more than what you feel comfortable doing. And so that being said, I do a lot of mucking and I'm learning to saddle properly. You compare the saddle with the rider to be sure they're getting the right saddle, the right horse for that particular rider. And the instructors are all very helpful. If you have any questions or you're concerned about anything, my favorite thing to do is actually to saddle and lead the horses. We help the rider get on the horse, and I enjoy leading the horse around the ring. And what I watch for is any behavioral change of the horse, such as ears going back, or they seem a little more restless. And I also watch carefully the rider to be sure the horse isn't getting too overstimulated from what the rider may or may not be doing. Some of the riders don't take instruction all that well, so you really have to take your time and know your rider and know what you should be watching for. And you always, most of the time you have a sidewalker with you that helps to watch the rider in their behavior, what they should be doing or what they're doing wrong. And if I do notice a problem with the horse, the ears go back or they're getting kind of funny feeling, I can feel that at the end of the reins, then I just stop and we re-evaluate and start up again. It is a very slow progress to see changes in the kids. I haven't been here quite long enough and I don't know the kids all that well, but you do get to know what they're capable of or what they're afraid of, and we also follow their lead. If they're having a bad day, then we're really careful about not overstimulating them. But you learn so much, and there's a lot of educational opportunities here. Chris and Ed have volunteer training, and we have training classes in the evening, so you really get to know horse behavior and people behavior, especially since most of the kids are on the autism spectrum. You really learn a lot, and as I'm going to repeat that, you never do more than you feel comfortable doing.
Hi, my name is Jody Steiger. My son Jack started with Breathe back in March, I believe, of this spring. Jack is 4.5 years old. Jack is on the autism spectrum, and he's got very large, high sensory needs. He's always on the go. He's a climber. He's a mover. He's an emerging talker at this point. He's just started saying his own sentences and using his words and knowing his colors and letters, so he's been doing that in his training. We were looking for something to help relax him and put his focus on and maybe help him just have a little bit more of an outlet to, I don't know what the right word is, to put his love into something maybe. He was diagnosed at the age of 2. Jack really looks forward to his Friday mornings. He's able to know the day before that that's what he gets to wake up and get ready for. He loves coming and knowing he has to come straight for a helmet and tries his best to wait patiently for his turn. He looks for his horse. He's either got Bitsy or Scooter, and it's always a wait of which one he gets. And by the end of this session, you can see the yawns start coming. He's totally relaxed, and on the way home, he's pretty quiet, and he's got a very calm day after that, usually. Just a mellow day for him. He's more looking for colors and animals that they show him during his riding lessons, you know. And he's just reaching out to his pets a little bit more with bigger hugs and more longer pets and laying on them a lot more, I see as a source of comfort.
Hi, Rachel Rops. My son Justin was diagnosed on the autism spectrum about 1.5 years ago. We didn't know what to do. We looked for different programs, different ways to help him just to overcome some of the problems that we were seeing. So we found Breathe, and since then he has sparked an interest in horses like you wouldn't believe. It has opened up quite a few conversations for us about horses and animals and things like that. But he also is learning to interact with other people. There's a variety of range in the volunteers, and he is learning to talk to them and look at them and interact with them. He's also using his memory to learn to tack a horse, I guess is what it's called. He comes home really excited, tells his grandparents, and he's learning how to even tell a story from start to finish about what he did at Breathe. His little brother started as well, and since then, I've watched his little brother smile when he didn't smile very often. I've watched his brother learn to control his temper just a little bit more. So Breathe has been extremely beneficial to our family.
Justin.
What do you like about being out here?
I like riding horses. I've learned trot, walk, slow it down and back up. I like to play the red light, green light. I like riding Romeo. It's pretty funny. It makes me feel excited.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Martha Erskindry. I am an instructor at Breathe, so I get to be with the kids and kind of lead the sessions with them. Sure. Becoming an instructor is kind of a long process to be certified by the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship. And it's an international organization, and they have a very outlined program that you do. And it took me about 2 years to get my certification. And then there are extra certifications that you can get on top of it, including the equine specialist in mental health and learning, which I also did and enjoyed quite a bit. So there's quite a bit that goes into it, a lot of kind of internship times and testing and all that kind of good stuff. PATH International is really worldwide. At this point, we have split up things quite a bit. We have partnerships with Canada especially, and there are just a lot of centers. I wish I could quote to you how many centers there are in the United States, but there are several, and many of them are premier accredited centers, and the association does do quite a bit when it comes to standards and guidelines and precautions when it comes to care of the horse, the facilities, safety management, and then with the students, how to work with different disabilities or different challenges that the kids may have. So they're very organized and very helpful when you come to those kinds of standards and precautions and things. I absolutely love Breathe. Breathe, the organization itself is very team-oriented, so everyone kind of relies on one another to help the students and interacts with the students, which is invaluable when you're an instructor, especially. You have that extra support with you all the time. And just love all the kids and their reactions with the horses and what they do with the horses. And it's just a very rewarding experience to be here at Breathe.
So for the future of Breathe, what we'd like to see happen in the next year is we are trying to build a sensory trail around the perimeter of the property, and that will allow the kids to go out on a trail outside of our arena. And along the trail there will be certain obstacles and challenges for them that they will encounter along the way. And that trail, we're planning on that taking about half an hour to complete. So that's going to be a really exciting thing for the kids to do. And they will be able to get out on that sensory trail at least once a month with us. The other goal that we're hoping to accomplish this year is to install drinking posts for our horses. We've had to get through the winter running heated hoses and running heated buckets, and our electricity bill jumped about $300 a month running all that heat all winter. So there's a unique drinking system that we can install for the horses that requires no electricity, but will provide them with fresh water all winter long. And so that's a big project that we're hoping to get done by the end of the year. And then in the future, we will plan to continue to make property improvements to Breathe, as well as develop additional riding programs. I'd love to bring in a program for veterans and for cancer survivors and those types of things. One of our biggest challenges is funding. We would love to hire a full-time program director and a full-time development director. Right now I wear both hats and I'm unpaid, so that would be a big step for us in the right direction if we'd be able to accomplish that.